Okay, I'm back here. Again, I'm traveling, so I don't have the ideal conditions. The lighting's bad. I try to find someplace quiet. Last time I had a really bad audio. Time after that, I had a bunch of birds and dogs. And if you listen, someone's jamming to Guns N' Roses right now. But let me jump on today's time. Is versus contains, and there's something to watch out for. It's not. Usually it's very simple, but I'm going to give you one use case that I've seen a bunch of times that says, oh, what's going on here? But let's jump into it. I'll be back in a second. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. Now they're playing Van Halen. They really love the 80s stuff down in Latin America, but let's go for it. Here is versus contains. This is going to be short, but I just want to point out something. Now, normally, there's all kinds of places where you're going to use this. I think they're called operators, filters, any sort of filtering you're doing. And you can do filter type stuff all throughout the front end and the back end. But is not, contains, blah, blah, all these different things. And these can change depending on type of field it is. So that could be a whole nother topic. So this is where you're going to use it a lot, and there's nothing, when you're filtering, there's nothing really to watch out for. But I'm going to show you something that I've seen a bunch of times. Right here, user roles. When user roles have, an individual could have more than one user roles. This is where I've seen this fall apart sometimes. And this has to do with page rules. I use page rules a lot. And if you have more than one user role, you have to use contains and not is. Because if I'm user role number 1 and user role number 2, and I'm driving there's all kinds of things you can do with page rules. I won't get into the function of that. But if you're 2 user roles and you say is, well, and you want to do a rule regarding, let's say, user role admin, it's not going to recognize it because it is not is admin. It is user role 1, user role 2. So you have to make sure you have contains, and then it's just going to go look and it's contain one of those, and then you can drive the page rule on that. And I've seen this happen where people do a lot of page rules. There's users a lot of times you're developing users as you go. So you initially might be doing the user role with is, and it's working right. And then you decide, no, I need people to have more than one user role. And then when you're functioning your app, it's not doing what you want. Well, you have to make sure to go back and change anywhere that it's appropriate from is to contains. Again, this is a short one. It might be my shortest video. But watch out for that. When I first came across it, I scratched my head until I figured out what was going on. Thank you.